Okay, let me start all over again. So, hello, I am Merwat. That is ohmTown.com. And I was babbling for about a minute and a half before I realized that not only was I muted, but I had the wrong date on the stream, and I think I'm losing my mind. So, today is September 15th, 2022. We're at episode, I think it's 257, maybe 58. And I haven't missed a date yet. Almost missed today, even though I actually did prep. I've already selected a bunch of articles, but there's so much news that even within the construct of ohmTown, I'm getting information overload, which is rare nowadays. You may have noticed if you've gone over to ohmTown.com, I've removed the advertisement, which actually speeds the site up a bit. Enough of that. Let's just get into the news. The very first article is a campsite has offered Hans Niemann $1 million to play chess in the nude to prove that he didn't cheat. A popular campsite extended an offer of $1 million to controversial Grandmaster Hans Niemann to broadcast himself playing a live game of chess completely naked. The offer is supposed to help him prove that he did not cheat when he beat Magnus Carlsen, the world's top-ranked chess player, in a tournament last week. And it's a place called Strip Chat, an adult webcam site that claims to have a monthly viewership of 400 million people. And says it sent a letter to Niemann congratulating him on his victory and saying, "Put your nudity where your skills are." That's not what they said. I'm just making that part up. But hey, it says here, extending sympathies for all of the accusations of cheating against him. And the cheating scandal has lit the chess world on fire and has become the biggest scandal in chess probably ever, short of breaking a child's finger with a bot. That was shocking in the world of chess. So let's follow the link. It takes us over to vice.com, and Jules Roscoe is the author of this. I don't know if that is, I don't really know who Hans Niemann or Magnus Carlsen is. I didn't look. I'm into chess about as much as anyone, which is to say I'm not really into chess that much. But I start saying a sentence because I'm kind of like teleprompter driven. And if it's on there, I'll say it. Anyway, I'm going to move on. So other theories suggest that Carlson's prep work for the tournament was leaked, allowing Neiman, who, despite being a notably young grandmaster, was ranked the lowest in the tournament, and allowed him to beat him. Others theorize that Neiman could have used a shoe computer connected to an AI, thus the suggestion that he play nude. But hey, that computer could be stashed anywhere. Talk about shoe. It could be shoehorned into anything. In the continuity report, Timothée Chalamet reveals that he has 7 musical numbers in the Wonka movie, and in yet just tremendous amount of skill. I did not post the last link, and I didn't post this link. So let's do that before I get too far ahead of myself. With leading turns in Luca Guadagnino's Cannibal coming of age story Bones and All, and Denis Villeneuve's fantasy epic Dune Part 2, Timothée Chalamet is wearing many different hats. And next December, he will add another colorful top hat in Paul King's movie musical Wonka, an origin story about Roald Dahl's sugary chocolatier. Well, Ethan Schanfeld is the author of this over at Variety.com. And oh, what is it? Let me pull it up real quick. One second. Snowpiercer. That's it. Sorry for yelling at you. Snowpiercer is the sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I love this idea. I love this idea. It's the world building there is spectacular. I don't know if you've ever seen this. Just do a search that Snowpiercer is the sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And it'll all get spelled out, and it's just a beautiful world building sequence of events that will, at the end of the day, make you go, sure, I agree. I love it. I'm gonna have to go watch Snowpiercer, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and Snowpiercer in rapid succession, and traumatize the other people in the house because, well, it's quite the juxtaposition. Anyway, now you know Chalamet is going to be in Wonka and have a whole bunch of musical events in it. 7 to be exact. The next article is over in The Word in Tech. And that is her work helped her boss win the Nobel Prize. Now the spotlight is on her. Scientists have long studied the work of Subramanian Chandrasekhar, the Indian-born American astrophysicist who won the Nobel Prize in 1983, but few know that his research on stellar and planetary dynamics owes a deep debt of gratitude to an almost forgotten woman, Donna Dayette Elbert. Let's click the link. Draw some attention. Holly Ober over at University of California, Los Angeles wrote this article for phys.org. And it says from 1948 to 1979, Elbert worked as a computer for Chandrasekhar, tirelessly devising and solving mathematical equations by hand, though she shared authorship with the Nobel laureate on 18 papers, and Chandrasekhar enthusiastically acknowledged her seminal contributions. Her greatest achievement went unrecognized until a postdoctoral scholar at UCLA connected threads in Chandrasekhar's work that all led back to Elbert. Elbert's achievement, before anyone else, she predicted the conditions argued to be optimal for a planet or star to generate its own magnetic field, said the scholar, Suzanne Horn, who has spent half a decade building on Elbert's work. Boy, this sounds like a lot of research. I'll just leave that alone. How Horn and UCLA professor of Earth planetary and Space Science's Jonathan Arnow have published a paper in Proceedings of the Royal Society A, in which they present the newly named Elbert range, which details her predictions about the range of combinations that rotation, convection, and magnetism may assume to be to best generate a planet-wide magnetic field. This is pretty fascinating, so I may be able to do a deeper dive into this. Elbert had no formal mathematics degree, but when she did, or what she did, uh, most people couldn't do nowadays. It's really tough math, usually done with modern electronic computers, said Horn, now an associate professor at the Research Center for Fluid and Complex Systems at Coventry University in the UK. Chandrasekhar says in footnotes that the subtle and elegant ways to solve particular problems were actually put forward by Elbert. She's all over his treatise on geophysical and astrophysical fluid dynamics, but not an author. Today, she would be considered the mathematician in her own right, but in the 50s and 60s, it's hard for a woman to get more credit than a footnote, which, you know, all these freedom fighters today are wanting to bring back the good old days. Well, there were never good old days. It was just one oppressive person over another again and again. So stand up for yourself. Let's move on to the next article. This one is in the Warcrafters channel, and it is a flying car mod for Cyberpunk 2077. Looks so good, it should be a real feature. I don't know. 2077's physics were kind of wonky when I watched it. Never played it. Couldn't get into it, but that's okay. I love Cyberpunk. Let's see. The author says, my life as a corpo in Cyberpunk 2077 started out pretty promisingly, including a ride in their own flying limousine to kick off their first mission. Granted, things went off the rails almost immediately when they lost their job. Got the ghost of Johnny Utah, Wick Harker, Constantine, Mnemonic Silverhand stuck in their brain. But as they sort of expected at some point to have their own flying car again. The future, as we all know, is always filled with flying cars, so what gives? Yeah, my future still has no flying car. Hard to say if it was an oversight or a feature they didn't have time to add, but a modder has expertly corrected that omission. Let There Be Flight is a mod for Cyberpunk 2077 by Jack Humbert that puts flying cars into the game and lets you take to the sky over Night City. And it looks pretty darn slick. Now I'm going to have to hunt that down because I really want to see it. If it's like full on flying all over the place or it's just low level flight above said roads. But it says you're not just hopping into a car and lurching into the air like you're using a no-clip cheat mode. The mod adds custom thruster models. Nice. So this article is over at pcgamer.com and it's by Christopher Livingston. Again, love the name. It says, driving is for suckers. This is the future. Oh, it's a video. There's a video. Y'all have to go and look at it. If you are listening to the podcast, go over to PC Gamer and just do a quick search for flying car mod. You'll find it. And you can fly all over. I might have to just get this game just so I can do this. Forget everything else. I won't even probably play the game. I'll just fly around in a flying car. It's a hover car. Where we're going, we don't need roads. And it's straight to 2077 flying car mode. Pretty damn awesome. Good on you, Jack Humbert. Let There Be Flight is the mod for Cyberpunk 2077 to give you flying cars in the game. And fly all over Night City. Might streamline all of the car crashing that takes place. Throw in the ability to do some barrel rolls. They can't think of a better way to get around Night City, especially considering how the AI citizens are exceptionally poor drivers. Traffic jams are now a thing of the past. Dun, dun, dun. You know, that Spider-Man mod would be great too. Let's move on to the next article. Warren rips DeSantis over flying migrants to Martha's Vineyard. This has got to be the most sociopathic, psychotic, antisocial, just horrible, horrible story that I have ever brought to ohmTown Daily News Show. And it's a shame that this actually has to be uttered. So, Florida governor flew migrants to Martha's Vineyard to say, well, if you're not going to have the border wall, we're going to send you migrants. And they lied to them, apparently, and dropped them off. Warren took a shot for treating the migrants who were dropped off on an island without advance notice to local authorities, like props in a political stunt. DeSantis, you psychopath. Leading progressive Senator Elizabeth Warren slammed Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, again, you psychopath, Thursday for sending 2 plane loads of Venezuelan migrants to Martha's Vineyard, the picturesque island off the coast of Massachusetts, where U.S. presidents often vacation. You know, the United States will now, and taxpayers will now take care of these people, because not only were they manipulated and lied to based on the interviews of these people, but most people are not antisocial, sociopathic, psychopathic bastards. DeSantis, you're a real scumbag. And all of that. It's just, Warren said of DeSantis, it is cruel to treat humans like pawns in a political game, and he has reached a new low. And to own up to it. I mean, if for a moment that I would read an article that says, I didn't really do that, and I don't know who's blaming me for it, but I would never have done that. But apparently it's true. So, exploiting vulnerable people for political stunts is repulsive and cruel. Massachusetts is fully capable of handling asylum seekers, and they'll be working with local, state, and federal partners, to ensure that they have the necessary resources to treat the people with dignity. The people of Florida should do a vote of no confidence in DeSantis and boot him. All of you who might be embracing him, go and get your brains checked for heavy metal. You might have too much lead lining your brain to think that that is a good thing to do to a human being, what this piece of crap did. In touch with the local officials regarding the arrival of migrants in Martha's Vineyard, and short-term shelter services are being provided by local officials. Again, because these people are not psychopaths. DeSantis' gambit risks causing tension with Massachusetts Republican Governor Charlie Baker, whose office said he's in touch with local officials to make sure the migrants are being cared for. Well, Charlie Baker, you need to step up to the plate and prove that you aren't a psychopathic Republican governor. So a while back, I had said that I'm not going to continue to talk about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, but the Johnny Depp Amber Heard show, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation trial movie is going to stream on Fox's Tubi. Let me just say that again, on Fox's Tubi. Or Tubby. I'm not sure. I'm Tubby. Maybe it's Tubby. The controversial defamation case between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard is the subject of a new movie, because we knew it was going to be. Hot take: the Depp Heard trial. Zoo? Circus? I don't know. Set to debut exclusively on the free Tubi streaming service. The film stars Mark Hapka as Depp and Megan Davis as Heard. Let's click the link just because. Yeah, I don't see this. Okay. People are probably going to watch it simply because I'm sure it's going to be as salacious as humanly possible. But wow, just wow. Hot take follows the tumultuous relationship in and out of court. of Depp and Heard, dramatizing the 2-month defamation trial that concluded January 1st with the jury finding that Heard had defamed Depp by alluding to domestic violence allegations against him in a December 2018 op-ed. By the way, it says here, the jury also held Depp liable for a defamatory statement made by somebody else. Made by somebody else. It would be like holding me responsible for what my neighbor did. But apparently, because he's a lawyer and not allowed to say anything unless it's by proxy of the person, some other, I don't know, their client. I know that he was a client, but for crying out loud, he was speaking on what his opinion was. He did not say, Depp told me to say this. This is a statement by Johnny Depp. No, it was his own thing. But juries and the legal system generally get it right, is what I've been told in the past. Not much else to say in this, but go over to Variety, read the rest of this if you're curious. It's an article by Todd Spangler. This next article, which I thought is, again, it's basically legal news in ohmTown, aggregated from a bunch of different sources. This one happens to be Variety as well, but Cardi B pleads guilty to the 2018 strip club attack. So Cardi B has accepted a plea deal regarding the 2018 strip club incident in which the rapper was charged for allegedly ordering an attack on 2 bartenders, sisters Jade and Batty G, at Angel's Strip Club in Queens. Cardi pled guilty to 2 misdemeanor charges for 3rd-degree assault and reckless endangerment. Let me see something real quick. I need to pull something up real quick. Yeah. Okay, so Cardi B is also the one that in 2019 defended herself after a video resurfaced of her saying that she drugged and robbed men who wanted to have sex with her. And in that article from BBC.com, it says that Cardi B explains why she drugged and robbed men. You know, when I drug and rob men, there's a rationale for it, and it's totally going to keep me out of jail. Anyway, she's walking free, though. Responded to the backlash that she used to drug and rob men. When you admit to a crime, apparently you don't get charged with it. But let's move on to the article over at Variety about Cardi B pleading guilty to 2018 strip club attack. Classy. Ethan Schanfeld is the author of this article. And however, the original indictment included 12 charges, including 2 felonies. All 10 of the remaining charges were dismissed. So this is basically playing down instead of dragging it on and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. I know if I order an attack on somebody, I'll walk free. My attorney better be really good, I guess. Ethan Schanfeld, again, is the author of this article over at Variety.com. Not much more to talk about there. Let's pivot a little bit and go over to Smack Talk. And that's an Apple Insider article that's titled OtterBox releases new colorful cases for the iPhone 14 lineup. OtterBox has teased 2 lines of colorful cases for the iPhone 14 product line that are compatible with MagSafe. Let's just go straight over to the article and take a look at them. Looks like they're semi-transparent, translucent cases even. Kind of swirly for 2 of them, and I don't know. It doesn't seem all that great. The Figura series are clear cases that have hydrographic patterns made using a special paint pouring process. Alcohol ink is poured into rubbing alcohol and then gently directed using airflow. Yeah, this is a paint pour process that a lot of people have done over the last, I don't know, almost decade now. It's really an old school technique now. It says they were looking for a medium that you can't control too much and wanted to have a hazy transparency to really let the design of the new iPhone 14 shine. Samantha Fowler, Otterbox graphic illustrator and artist, explained. So $50 cases. Go check them out. There's black, orange, purple, blue. Then there's a Lumen series as well. That's Obsidian Black, Tierra Metallic Beige, Regalia Blue, and Gallant Silver. How gallant. You have a gallant case. The next article is in the Word in Tech as well, and this one's titled Rumble is ready for a $2 billion SPAC. So if you don't know what a SPAC is, basically it's an organization that's spun up with a check and a whole lot of money behind it. And they go and they find some organization that they can purchase outright and then bring public. It says Rumble was founded in 2013 by CEO Chris Pavlovsky as an alternative to Google's algorithmic approach to surfacing content on YouTube. After operating largely under the radar, the platform has grown in popularity over the last few years, with users on the right seeking out content that's banned from YouTube, like Steve Bannon's War Room podcast and Alex Jones's InfoWars show. If you were to look up Rumble, by the way, it would be described as a video service at first blush. And then when you peel back the layers of the onion of either SEO or the marketing side of things, you find out that this is what it's kind of embracing, along with all kinds of other stuff. But it says Rumble has been one of the most successful alternative social media companies to come out of the former President Donald Trump and the right's war against alleged online censorship on major social platforms. I think regulation will come eventually, wherein bald-faced lies and the hype about this type of you drink this liquid and you'll grow a new arm or whatever. It's a lot of BS in these videos. So $2 billion. That's okay. It's serving a sector, even if it is wingnut in a sense. And they'll make their money and move on. And that's how you become a billionaire. You take somebody else's money and then you walk away. Let's move on. The next article is over in the continuity report. And it is SNL adds 4 featured players to season 48. So Saturday Night Live is trying to replenish its ranks after many of its best-known cast members have signaled they intend to leave the show. The venerable NBC late night program has enlisted 4 new players. So let's go over and check them out. This is Brian Steinberg over at Variety. And it says here, the 4 new players include Marcelo Hernandez, Molly Kearney, Michael Longfellow, and Devin Walker. And Hernandez, who bills himself as a writer, comedian, and producer, is a Cuban-Dominican stand-up who has opened for Tim Dillon, Jim Brewer, Mark Vieira, Gilbert Gottfried, and others. Kearney is a Chicago-based comic. Wow. That's quite the distillation of an entire person, while the other one is like massive. All right. Longfellow, who hails from Arizona and has done stand-up in Los Angeles, and Walker, who has made a few lists of up-and-coming comedians recently, hails from New York City. Wow. Well, I guess. Anyway, SNL is navigating its way through a seismic shift in its cast, because quite a few people have left. But that's okay. New eyes, new blood, new perspective. Maybe something better might come of this. And everybody just needs to roll with it and embrace it and say, hey, got some new personalities. Maybe we're going to get some really good humor out of it. And ultimately, the last article for today is in the Word in Tech. Amazon is making a Blade Runner TV show. So Amazon has officially picked up the series for Prime Video based on the hit Blade Runner movies, Deadline reports. This is from The Verge, however. The series is titled Blade Runner 2099. I wish they would have just left it Blade Runner, and suggesting it'll take place 50 years after Denis Villeneuve's very good Blade Runner 2049. Ridley Scott, the director of the first Blade Runner, will serve as an executive producer. The company isn't sharing Blade Runner 2099 plot details just yet, so we don't know much about what's going to happen beyond just the timeline. Well, I'm all for it because I love Blade Runner, even though I think my memory serves me right, which it's failing. Blade Runner's never mentioned in the original works, right? Like I don't think it's ever right. Like Blade Runner is never actually said. Hold on one second. I don't think Blade Runner was ever actually uttered in any way. Um, Let me see here. Yeah, like in the Philip K. Dick, I think. Yeah. Anyway, um, but it has persisted, and it, along with Cyberpunk, that whole thing, that whole world building is spectacular. I love every part of it. Even though it's dystopian, both of them are dystopian in nature, and don't really produce a positive worldview. It's all about survival and everybody having, drive and ambition. That I I think that Cyberpunk and Blade Runner are just interchangeable. They're just so tied together that when I think of Blade Runner, I think of Cyberpunk. So it's going to be a cool time for us because there's a lot of cyberpunk and tech driven um, world building that's going to be taking place. So there's going to be a lot of content out there for us over in the continuity report. So if you're interested in that, stick around. Be sure to follow. Um, I'm done for today. I'm going to get out of here. I've had pretty much kind of a crap day, and I don't want to get all up in people's grills. I didn't do much soapboxing for today. But again, we're going to make it a short day, and want to thank you for hanging out. Um, this has been the ohmTown Daily News Show. I am Mayor Watt. This is September 15th, 2022. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, 6 o'clock. And I've already published all of the back podcasts, so go and check it out. I'm now publishing into YouTube because what has transpired was I was getting engagement for pre-made stuff. Um, like I would stream to Twitch and record it and then edit it and then post it over at YouTube, and I was getting viewers. Then I went live and it doesn't show up anywhere. It doesn't automatically show up anywhere, but there's discoverability in pre-made stuff that's edited and posted. So it's almost like YouTube doesn't really want you to engage in anything live. So I've always liked it over on Twitch, and I think that's my home. So I will see you here tomorrow, 6 o'clock, same time, same channel. Swing by ohmTown here on Twitch. And if you want to look at back episodes beyond 60 days, they're over there. I'll be updating all of the ones here on Twitch with show notes. Sorry, every episode I have to cough. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.